Hey everyone!
Hey.
And welcome back to the Nonsense Podcast,
Podcast.
where we talk nothing but
Nonsense. This is episode 7,
7.
which is wild. I feel like we've just been coming out with these, and it's been a good experience. It's been a really good experience for sure.
For the last episode, we actually had Naomi on it, so that was a good treat.
Yeah.
But obviously everyone can see we're in somewhere different today.
Yeah.
You want to tell the people what's going on?
Yeah, so today me and Annabelle are reunited. Last time we were reunited in Ohio, which is where I live. She was there for my graduation. I've graduated, gone on vacation, all that stuff, and now we're at my parents' home in Illinois, which is where Annabelle lives. So we're just being reunited again and again, okay? And it's lit, and we're living, and it's a good time.
I love when Rachel comes to visit, but today she came at a good time, honestly, since the last time I saw her, which was like 2 weeks ago. But the weather's nice. It's actually pretty hot today.
It's very hot.
I think it's like 76 today. So this morning, personally, I'm a coffee drinker. But so today I had kind of like an iced coffee, but I know you don't drink coffee. So
I like tea. I'm a tea girl. I like, any sort of tea. Really, I like, I drink Earl Grey, or I like a matcha tea latte. I like a yerba mate latte with some lavender in it. And, I'll drink a chamomile at night. A chamomile sleepy time. I just got this CBD infused tea with turmeric, and it works so well. It gets me knocked out. So I love tea. It's really good.
Some iced tea sounds good, right now.
So perfect for a nice cool day. That's what I love about tea. Like it can really have a different tea that fits all situations.
Speaking of it fitting in all situations, you know what kind of tea I like?
What kind of tea?
My RouTEAn's. Personally, I'm a. That was so cheesy.
I can't with you.
That was so cheesy. But no, I'm serious. I'm the type of person that likes to stick to like my plan for the day, and or I live like my whole week is planned out, and if it doesn't stick like that, I'm not saying I have an attitude, but I get a little upset. Like, why is this not going according to plan? Do you have a daily routine?
Yeah.
Yes, mine sticks the same daily. Yeah. What does yours look like?
I need my routines. And, my routine has changed. It's currently kind of different. It's kind of everywhere. And before, I was a student and I was working and things like that. And so, I would wake up as early as 6 a.m, get ready for work, do some yoga, do some meditation, and then just get ready for work, go to work, come back from work, shower, and just chill out. And then, I would also, give myself designated days to just really do nothing. I would just stay in and just relax and watch TV, and just be a little bit of a bum for a day. And I like to have those days, and then if unexpected things come up, they'll kind of interfere with those days, or they would add on top of already busy days. It would throw me off. So I really do like to have my routine set in stone, because usually I'm very intentional about how my days look.
I'm kind of the same way. I start my morning off a little earlier. I wake up around 5, but this depends, and if I want to try in the day in the morning. So like if I want to put on makeup or something, or I have to do my hair, it's at 5. I got to do all this stuff. Usually it's around 6. Then I just get dressed and just head out the door. But I usually just go to work, because I work 7:30 to 4. Go to the gym a couple times during the week, and then after that I just go home and just unplug. That's it. But my weekends are usually all to myself. I finally get to sleep in late, because I'm always up in the morning or always staying out late. But actually that's going to change soon, because I finally got a part-time job that I've been wanting to do soon. So that's going to change. I got to fix that mentally. So that's going to be cool. But honestly, my daily routine hasn't changed very much or often. So like, I don't know if yours changed at all, like during the pandemic, but my job was still open, same business hours, but I was working in the warehouse. So I was from like 7 to 4. So I was working those hours, and it was kind of like the same, except for I wasn't able to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Did yours change at all?
It did. And actually, COVID-19 was like one of my first experiences with my routine changing so drastically, because before the pandemic, for the most part, the expectation was, wake up, eat something, go to class, go to get a meal with some friends or something like that. And then just, maybe go to work or study or something like that. And when I would do that, I would be going, from my dorm to my classroom to the library to another building, or I would go to my friend's house or something like that. COVID-19, suddenly everything that I did was in my home. In fact, it was in my parents' home,
Yeah,
and
so you had to come back.
I had to
right?
come back home. So I was in undergrad, and I had to come back home when the pandemic happened. And so my routine was constantly changing. And not only that, but I couldn't even plan for the future or what to expect, because we were constantly being told only 2 more weeks.
Because we
only
didn't
1 more
know
month.
either.
Yeah.
They had no time frame.
It was
like
crazy, girl.
A lot of people didn't even know if we were ever going to go back to normal life,
Yeah. And honestly, we still haven't. The world has changed significantly,
Can I just make a comment? I'm kind of glad that it changed, because everything is a little more clean.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh no, like we gotta sanitize. Y'all should have been sanitizing that much before. But we're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah. And I do kind of I like that aspect. I don't really love that, people they're not going outside as much. I don't really like that. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but you go to a lot of businesses had to close because, people started, not going out as much. And so businesses lost businesses. Malls started shutting down because people don't go to the malls anymore. They just shop online.
Went really up because
DoorDash,
everybody just wants somebody else to go do it and drop it off.
The pandemic caused people to essentially change their routines. And even, once we were told, oh, it's safe to go outside, people were still just like, oh, but it's a lot easier for me to stay inside.
Yeah, everybody got a little lazy. I'm not going to lie. I was one of those people that got a little lazy. I did not work out at the house. So it was just like, oh no, I can't go outside. I can't do nothing.
Yeah, I definitely got a lot more lazy. I was less focused on like my schoolwork and stuff because it was hard to. I'm like, this
was all online, right?
It was all online. I went from being in an environment that I was fully immersed in to being in an environment, I'm trying to take a class and my mom's yelling at me, to do something. And it's extremely distracting. And, suddenly school just feels like a little bit, it was still a priority, but it just felt a little bit like less of a priority. Yeah. Just because, the world was changing and I didn't know what tomorrow was going to look like. So, yeah, girl.
During the pandemic, I actually tried going back to school. I know I only took like one class just to kind of see how it was, but it was all online, and I'm a one-on-one in-person type of learner, and it just didn't work out. I ended up dropping out, and I was just like, I'll go back eventually. Wow. I'll go back when I can be in person, like if I can get, because they weren't offering in-person tutoring at the local college, so I was just like, I can't do that. So I ended up just like dropping out and not being able to do it. But I know actually my little brother, he graduated high school during the pandemic. So we were all like, it was a very small ceremony instead of like the really big graduation. Yeah. It was all in the new auditorium. They got a new auditorium. So
after we leave,
they got all of these nice things. A second gym. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. A whole building disappeared next to us. And anyway, but like it was a small ceremony of I think about like 20 to 30 people. And then that was including us, like the family. Oh. And so like they called their name, they went up, that's it, didn't take more than an hour. And my little brother just never went to go pick up his diploma because he was just like, what's the point? I was like, dang. It was a lot. That the pandemic really did cause a lot of different changes or shifts in routines, and just like it was just hard for a lot of people.
It was hard. I think at the time, because I actually talked about this in one of my psychology classes during the pandemic, and we were like trying to kind of understand. I was taking a class about understanding like. I'm sorry, this is a sensitive topic, you guys. So trigger warning.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. I was in my class understanding suicide, and so we were trying to understand. It didn't seem like the rates of suicide had actually gone up significantly since the pandemic happened, which is interesting because the pandemic kind of fostered an environment of depression, of isolation. Things were changing so rapidly, so it could led to hopelessness. Feelings associated with depression, yet we didn't really see any higher rates of suicide. And now a few years after, it's so interesting for me to see and clients that I have and things like that, how much the pandemic really affected them. And almost everyone who has depression now has a significant mental health story that comes with the pandemic, and how, they were isolated, how they started using substances like drugs more, how they lost a lot of friendships, how they, got all this anxiety because they weren't used to being around a lot of people as much and things like that. And so it really can take a toll. And I think that that's also something, those mental health concerns, that's also something that can just come with, such a drastic change to routine. Because, you go from, expecting things to be one way, and then suddenly completely out of your control, they're another way.
Literally completely out of your control. It's not even, oh no, like something happened on accident. It was just everyone, like countries, cities, states were all shut down. So it was just, what now?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a crazy time. And it's like, even in the moment, it was even hard. It was hard to recognize how crazy it was. But it helped that I had you. It really, really helped that I had Annabelle. Me and her, and like two other friends, we would go out and we would, get drinks, and we would get happy hour, or
we'll bring him back to like somebody's house, and we'll have like drinks there.
We would do potlucks, we would, just have like time together, which was really, really nice. And it would be small, not a lot of people around. And so that was good. I think that was helpful. And I don't know how I would have gotten through it if I didn't at least have that, because my life was completely turned upside down. My life turned into just being home all the time.
Mine didn't really change because I was working.
Yeah, you're
so
working.
It was just like, oh, okay, cool. But I didn't realize until like when we would get together, and it's just like, yeah, I had class. Like, it's just like, oh, yeah. I was just like, oh, people don't go to class anymore. I was like, oh, people don't go to the mall. I was just like, oh man, like everything, like self-checkouts and everything. And it was like, it was all becoming a thing. Shopping online, we'll bring it to your car. We'll just, I don't know. There was just a lot. It was a very, I'll say, dark or gloomy time in, in the US or in the world.
Yeah, but you gotta adjust.
You have to adjust.
And I think that, I am still, kind of adjusting, and because part of me does still wish that, the world, I felt like the world was a little bit brighter the way it used to be, but at the same time, I'm like, part of that probably had to do with, just who I was, and I had less, responsibility on my shoulders. I was younger, things like that. So that could also have something to do with it as well.
I'm gonna go on a tangent.
Go ahead.
Can we just talking about the world being brighter? Can we talk about how bright of the world was when we were little kids? Absolutely no responsibilities.
Girls.
Like, it was like literally, if we wanted to play outside, we'd just play outside for forever. It was, we were doing that. We were, what was it? We were just worrying about, man, like, if I hope I get home on time to watch my favorite cartoon come on TV when we had, what was it, cable? We didn't have all that Netflix stuff yet.
We didn't have no Netflix.
We didn't have Netflix or anything. So it was like, we had to wait. I was waiting for the anime stuff to come on.
It was fun.
For Cartoon Network, and it was just like everything seemed so bright.
Yeah. I think that comes with, during that time, like you had to wait for a lot more when you're a kid.
A lot of patience.
Anything that you wanted, like you couldn't just go and get. You're fully a dependent individual. So you have to wait for things. But, while there's a downside to waiting for things, the upside of it is that you get to be excited. I feel like nowadays, like it's hard to be excited for things because we're responsible for like everything that happens. Like as adults, anything that happens in your life, like it's you who's making it happen. Like your parents aren't surprising you with a trip to Disneyland. That's just not going to happen. They're like, oh, we're going on a trip.
You can come if you want.
You can come if you want. This is how much it costs.
How much the ticket is. This is how much this is. It's just like, it's not even that. You could still make it bright now. It's just there's a lot more, I'll say obstacles for lack of a better term. There's a lot more, a lot of steps to get there.
I hear you.
There's no one guiding you. It's, you got this.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. But you gotta adjust, girl.
You have to adjust.
You gotta adjust because life changes. And I think that, there's bright and there's dark sides to everything. Like, and being a child, I don't think I would ever want to be a child exactly again because, I like to have my space. I like to be able to say no. I like to be able to, if I don't want to go somewhere, not go anywhere. I like to have, some control over what I do in my day to day.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely.
And as a child, you're told, no, you're supposed to go to school and you live in this home. You stay in this home until you're a certain age. And that's that. And I know different parents are different and they let their kids do whatever they want to do. That's them. That my parents were very much like, this is how you live your life until you're 18.
I agree. I'm right there with you. I wasn't able to go over anybody's house unless it was like Rachel, like, like our parents met, like, is Rachel's mom going to be there? Like, it was just like, okay. What was it? I have a question. So if you could go back in time with all the knowledge, with everything that you know now to be a kid, let's say like around 10 years old, would you? I'll give you a second. Personally, I would, but I know I'll be missing out on so many things right now, like, like the times and how everything is now. But if I can do some stuff over and go back to when I was 10 with all the knowledge that I have now, I can guarantee you I would not have made certain decisions then, like,
Yeah.
But that's, with the knowledge that I have now.
Yeah. And I mean,
so
you don't have to, I'm really curious now because you don't have to go into depth. I know that's personal, but there might be some people listening who might be able to relate. So could you maybe give an example of what you would do differently?
So I'm not going to go into depth, but my biggest thing right now is financial stuff. I'm going to be completely honest. I was not good with my financials at all. I grew up with my family. We didn't, like, if I really wanted something, I wasn't able to have it. So as soon as I was able to work, and I worked young, I started working at 15, 16.
Okay, yeah.
So as long as Rachel's known me, I've been working. So as soon as, actually a little longer. Well, almost a decade. So I think like
I met you when we were
late
13.
freshman. 13, 14.
Yeah.
So Rachel saw that transition. So I was like, I'm working. I'm working.
I'm a note, when I saw that transition, that's when Wish came out. Wish was a thing. And it was like every day Annabelle was talking about something she got from Wish. Annabelle was on so Wish. Bad. Annabelle
See,
was
financial decisions. Financial decisions.
And I was like, I wish I could get stuff off Wish.
I'm just gonna be a little nitpicky. But I remember ordering, I was like, I saw these like 50-piece eraser sponges. And I was like, my mom has always been talking about getting the eraser sponges. I'm going to just get this for her. It's cheap, They never came. They have never came.
Wish was something.
I was mad.
You would buy something off Wish, you would have to wish it would happen.
You would wish it would.
That's why it's called Wish. Because it's so cheap. You're just like, is this too good to be true? Let's wish it's true.
Seriously. So, like, going back to it before we get on another tangent.
Goodness gracious. Tangent after tangent.
Tangent. But as soon as I started working and seeing money, I'm like, oh, my mom didn't charge me rent at the time. So it was just like, oh, now I have my own money. I can buy my own things. So I went, saved my money, was doing other stuff so I can spend it wherever, whenever. I did not save. I did not think about long term. And let me just say that it lasted all the way up until, I'm not going to say recently. It's hitting me harder recently. It's hitting me harder recently. But before, like, it got to the point like, whoa, like, I want to move out. I don't have anything to show for all of this work that I done in the past. How am I going to move out? I had no savings. Like, I had absolutely nothing. So it's just like, oh. So that is like one of the biggest things that I would go back and redo.
I got you.
Definitely go back and redo.
Yeah. Well, shoot, girl. I didn't start making any sort of money until I was like 19. So I can't even say like I would have done. And even then, like, I spent all my money on food for real. And I, the savings I had, my mom forced, because, my mom's an accountant. So she forced me to, put my graduation money into a savings. So I think that, but what you're saying right now, I think especially people who start making money so young, like, you start forming these spending habits, because it's like, oh, like, before you had any money, anything that you wanted, you couldn't get unless it was like a gift or you asked for it, because you didn't have any money, so you couldn't get anything you want. And then it's like, oh, you have all this money, so you can get anything you want. And so, while that's great, while that feels good in the short term, like, in the long term, which is something that, of course, kids don't know because they're kids. Like,
yep, they're just thinking about the new toy that they have, and then, oh, I can actually get that toy or something. Like, isn't it funny? Sorry. So sorry. But isn't it funny how when you're little, you get all this money and stuff, like, as gifts, but as soon as you get older and actually need it, it stops coming.
Right?
It just stops coming.
Right?
It's just like, could have used that. I didn't need it when I was 12, but, thanks. Didn't have bills when I was 12, but thanks.
Right. Help me out, please.
Help me.
Goodness gracious. But nah, that's real, girl. That's real. I think, so, you asked, like, if I would want to go back to any age. And I'm going to just say no. I can't.
Okay.
I feel like, maybe I would tell my younger self some things, because like, my self-esteem just, like, wasn't there, because I'm a Black girl, and I grew up predominantly being the only Black girl in most of my classes, until I came to New Tech. And when I was 13, so up until I was 13, I was constantly, like, kind of, like, outside of, like, the status quo in terms of, like, appearance and stuff like that. So I, had some, like, self-esteem problems and things like that. But, I think that where I am today, I can do the most work towards getting to where I want to be. I don't think if I would have gone back 10 years and just started living life completely differently, like, if I would, be somewhere different or somewhere that I want to be, I think I'm where I want to be right now. So, and I think that this, even though I know this isn't my final destination, like, where I am right now, I think I'm in the best position at this age and this point in time to get to where I want to be than I've ever been before. So, not everybody can say that. And so I'm blessed. I am very, very blessed, for sure. But girl, every single day is a battle, and I'm just taking it one day at a time. And, you know how I mean, I just graduated and I don't know. I don't have a job lined up, and I could have if I really wanted to. But you know, I was starting to feel burnt out. And with the work I do, I'm like, I can't allow myself to feel that way. I can't just keep pushing myself. I can't just keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've literally seen, like, you know, the type of therapists can just be, if they're burnt out, they can literally cause more trauma to somebody. And I'm like, my biggest fear is ever doing that to somebody. So I'm just like, let me go ahead and, you know, take some time for myself, spend some time with my family, spend some time with my friends. Yes. You know, take some time. But this has been a challenging time because every single day I'm getting asked, what are you doing next? Every single day. And it's heavy and it's hard, but like there's this little tiny whisper voice in the back of my head that's saying, it's all working out. You're going to get to where you want to be.
I feel like that's actually really relatable for people that are like still in school. It's just like they're always like, what do you want to do when you grow up? What are like, because that's what we were asked growing up. Like, what do you want to do when what do you want to be? True. What do you want to be?
That's pressure, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm 12 and I really want chocolate milk. That's literally all I'm thinking about right now. I want to go watch cartoons. Nope. Like, I feel like that is such a pressuring question, especially to ask the youth.
For real.
It's like, let them be kids. Let the kids be kids.
If they still want to be kids, let them be kids.
But once they get older, that's when you start putting pressure on them. But you know that's okay, you know?
Yeah.
But
responsibilities
for
their own life, okay? Help show them how to be responsible for their own life. I think kids, I still think at a young age kids can learn about that. But not in a way of like you are pressured to have your whole life figured out, but in a way of, this is how you take care of things. Yeah. This is how you take care of people. This is how you take care of yourself. You know, this is how you go after what you want. Stuff helpful like that. Things. Yeah, helpful
things that will help them grow.
But don't be just like, unless at 16 years old, you know, you're already know where you want to go, know what you want to do. You're going to, unless if you don't know that, you're going to fail in life. Like, don't do that. Don't do that to kids. If anything, if they want to take a break, let them take a break. Gosh, dang it.
Because as soon as they get older, it's going to be go. They might not have a chance to go to
never ends.
They might not have a chance to take a break.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of people are that blessed, but they're blessed. I feel like everybody's blessed in different ways, obviously.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody is blessed in different ways.
Everybody's blessed in different ways.
For sure.
So don't forget, you are blessed. You just got to count your blessings.
At the same time, don't go envying other people's blessings because you don't know what they've been through.
Exactly.
You know, and you don't know if you would want to go through the same things that they've been through. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's carrying their own cross.
Right.
What they can carry. Well, thank you for answering that question for me. Did you like that question? I know it was a little random, but did you like that question?
I love that.
Good. You know why? Because I have a whole thing of them.
Oh. Okay.
I know it's a bit random, and this is a very big mug.
That's a big mug. You got some tea in there?
Of course. I hope we can actually spill some tea. Oh. There are some questions in here that I hope we can spill some tea.
Okay. Is it hot?
It might be, depending on your preference. So these, I thought it would be really fun if I got a bunch of questions offline, and I just thought it would be fun answering them either one at a time or there's a lot of questions. So we can do, you answer one, you know, and we'll see. You know?
Yeah.
Would you like to?
Oh, me first?
Of course. Or unless you want me to do it.
Okay.
The first one we could do together.
Let's try to do breakfast.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
Ready? We're going to go on shoot.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
Should have just went.
Okay. All righty. So, the first piece of tea. Would you rather sneeze every time you blink or cry every time you laugh? I hate sneezing. I hate it with a passion. Y'all, I have really bad allergies.
Horrible allergies.
Yesterday, they were messing me up so bad. I had to go to Walgreens in the middle of the night to go get some allergy medicine. I was trying to just get through it because I'm like, it's the summertime, it's not the springtime. But nope, the allergies, they were trying to get me. So I hate sneezing, so I guess I would prefer to cry every time I laugh, because I think it feels good to laugh, and I also think it feels good to cry. I rarely ever cry, but I enjoy crying.
Have you ever laughed so hard that you cried?
No.
I feel like that only happened to me once. I don't remember what it was, but I laughed so hard, tears started coming out, and it was just so funny.
Yeah.
I really wish I could remember what it was, but I think it was only that one time. So challenge.
I am a happy crier though.
Oh,
I was watching Encanto yesterday. I don't even know why, because that movie just makes me cry every time. I guess I just watch it when I want to cry. But that movie makes me happy cry so crazy, especially when she's talking to her grandma. Ooh. And she's like, you did the best you could.
That's that family trauma being healed right there.
That was that family trauma being healed. And it felt so good. I started crying so hard. Laura walked in, my big sister Laura. She walked in. She was like, you gotta stop crying.
Actually, the person I'm talking to told me the same thing, because I am so emotional. I don't know what it is. I'll see something on TikTok. He's like, are you crying? I'm like, yeah, something so happy just happened, or this is so sad. Like, and I'll just start tearing up. And I actually developed a new skill. Oh. Crying on demand.
Oh, that's hard.
I should be an actor at this point. Like, it is. Dang. Like, I could just think about it and then not hard, but like you'll definitely see tears.
A little bit of tears.
A little bit of tears.
That's a good skill to have.
I don't know.
You might be able to act or something. Maybe. Anyway.
Any scouts out there, please let me know.
TTT.
Have you ever seen a ghost where... Okay, I don't know if I ever told you about this. So...
You've seen a ghost?
I feel like I did. It's so weird. Okay, I'm going to try to speed run it really quick. Okay. So it was at the old house. I don't know if you remember. The one, I'm not going to give out the street. I'm like, give us out the street.
The house you were living in when I first met you?
No, the house before this one. The one, like the one level with the basement. Mm-hmm. So it was at that house. I was sleeping. Something told me to wake up. Like internally, I was just like, what is going on? I look at the at the foot of my bed on the right, I see a smoky white figure. And I did not see a face. I didn't see a figure. It was just like, it was smoky and white. It was just like around, like, it was just like like a person standing there. Didn't see an outline of a person though. It was just smoky, like when you blow out a candle, just like whoo. And I was just like, I'm gonna go back to bed. I closed my eyes. I'm like, I'm gonna grab my phone. So I'm just like closing it, thinking I could put one over on the ghost. And I go grab one, grab my phone, and open the screen. It's gone. And I'm just like, I'm turning on the lights. I get up cautiously. I'm looking around, like maybe like what could have caused that. Literally, it was pitch black when I like turned my phone on, besides like the light from my phone. Oh. It was pitch black. And so I slept with the lights on that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary. Are you able to sleep with the lights off now?
Always.
Oh.
Always. Sometimes I kind of hope to see something like that again, because the way that I felt, like I wasn't scared.
Oh.
I wasn't scared. I feel like it was more like of an angel.
Yeah.
Like a good...
That's what I was about to say.
You know, I was thinking it was more like that, because I felt not scared. I felt more, nope. You know, in that moment I felt nope. Like, I'm just like, I'm okay.
It's like, it's a little odd. Yeah. Okay, I've seen an angel before.
Oh.
I think I was like 6. Mm-hmm. It was when my family was living in Oklahoma. And I don't know, I think I was taking a nap like on the couch in the living room or something like that. And it was the middle of the day. It was bright outside. Mm-hmm. And then I saw like, something just like outside the dining room, cause the dining room and the living room were like kind of connected.
Kind of like how this is, like
kind of, yeah, kind of like that. And so I was able, like, I woke up and I saw like like a figure, and I don't remember its face. It had a face. I don't remember its face, but it was a lot of white, and it was outside the dining room window. I was I felt at peace. It felt, if anything, it felt like protection. It didn't feel like anything was happening that was like bad.
Did you go back to sleep?
No, I was up. I was up after that. I was pretty young, so I think I just went about my day after that. I wasn't freaked out or anything like that. And I brought it up to my mom later, and she was the one who was just like, "Oh, that's an angel."
Oh, so, I don't think I've ever told my mom that story.
Oh, your mom would love that story.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a topic for a different thing.
Okay.
How my mom is.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay. I want to get a tea one. I want some hot tea. Let me get some hot tea. Who do you think will be playing on Oldies Radio in 30 years? Shoot. I hope.
I feel like I know who you're gonna say. But
I mean, I love Ariana Grande.
That's who I thought you were gonna
say. I mean, I hope Sam Smith is on there. A nice Sam Smith song is on there. I know, I don't know what happened to Ed Sheeran. He kind of fell off, but he might.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Ed Sheeran will probably be on there. He gives me like oldies radio vibes. Ooh. Who else? Yeah.
I feel like, that's not, I can't, I just found a new artist, and she sings so beautifully, and she actually sings, it's all in Spanish. I believe her name is Mon Lafate or something like that, and the first song that I heard of her sounded oldies. So I was just like, oh, wow. But I do listen to, what was it? Keep your head on my shoulders. Mm-hmm. I listen to that. I'm like, I feel like that song's going to stay around a lot.
I thought that was like sampled from an old song. Is it a newer song?
Which one?
Keep your head.
Yeah, that's an old song. That's an oldie.
Oh, okay.
It's a very old song.
I got you.
That one and actually Stand By Me. Is a very old song as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like classics like that, I feel like will definitely, because everybody still loves them now. Everybody, if you sing it, guarantee everybody's gonna know that song. Oh. Stuff like that.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna grab one from the bottom. Okay. This one's funny. It says, what Mario Kart character are you? I always pick Link from The Legend of Zelda, and you know why? Because I just love Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
But from the old school, like GameCube, I'd probably go Daisy, because I just didn't like Peach always wearing pink. So, like, that's the only reason.
I always do Toad, because I think Toad is so cute. I love Toad. Toad or Yoshi. I also think Yoshi's cute.
Yoshi's my go-to in Mario Party. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Mario Party's a good time. It's a party.
It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party.
There's so many.
I know. Who knows what we'll get scorching hot.
What's the funniest insult you can come up with?
Oh. Rachel, I've never heard you insult anybody.
I don't really insult people for real. I just think there's another way.
I like that you got that question though. I'm curious.
Handle conflict.
I'm very curious.
I don't know. Sometimes I say people are being a booty hole.
She does. I've heard her say that.
Yeah. I might call my boyfriend a booty hole, or my sister a booty hole. Yeah. I don't curse. I don't know if anyone's noticed on this podcast. I don't really curse. So I say like jerk face or these are so weak.
No, it's okay.
But it's like the fact that I don't curse, I do feel like they hit a little bit because it's like, saying something insulting.
It's like Rachel never says anything bad about anybody unless they really piss her off.
Oh, I remember one time when I was a kid, I was in church and there was this annoying child. He was younger than me, but he was sitting in front of me and my friend, and he just kept being really mean to my friend. And so I just went in on him. I was just all like, hey, like, you need to like stop like saying what you're saying like right now. Like you're sitting there, like you're short as heck, like your face looks like a chihuahua, like you're all like pinched and scrunchy, like your eyebrows are together, like you're like really, really just, you know, being like a jerk right now and being really mean. And, you know, it doesn't help that like you're small as heck. Like, you know, just turn around and mind your business.
That's good.
Because he really got it. And we were in church too. So I'm like, you especially shouldn't be acting like this. So that really triggered me. And the insults just came out. Boom.
Watch out, guys. Never piss off Rachel.
I'll just go in. It might not come out smooth, but I'm going to call out some insecurities, okay? If you do too much. Okay. What about you?
See, I cuss up a storm. I actually, we just talked to your mom a little while ago, and I was like, I'm sorry for my language. I was like, I have a potty mouth. I'm working on it. It's limited to if children are around, then it's like a big no. If I'm at home with my mother, like, then it's a no, unless it's behind closed doors, and it's just like, okay. But I don't think I've ever insulted anybody. I've thought, you know, I'm just like, I'll call people an asshole, like in traffic. I'm like, can you fucking move? Like, it's just like, why are you so slow? Drive like a grandma, you know? It's just like stuff like that. Like, nothing ever hurtful, I'll say. I did think of one on the other day, but it wasn't towards anybody. But it was just like, I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
Oh my God.
But it literally came and went, and I was like, that's good. But I think I'm gonna start calling people what I heard your dad say earlier. Calling people chumps.
Chumps.
Like, you chump. Like, chump. People gonna be like, what? Like, I mess around with the guy I talk to. I'm like, oh, you're such a dingus. Like, I'll be like, that is my favorite. And I'm like, stop being a dingus. Like, you're acting like a dingus. Like, and it's just like, I don't like doing that. But like, those are the best. Those are in my artillery right now.
Love that.
Artillery? Whatever.
That's funny.
Yes.
Okay. TTT. Are we doing all of these?
We don't have to.
Okay, let's do a few more.
Is it me?
I think so.
Let's do a few more. Can you fold a fitted sheet by yourself? No, I cannot. I can, but it ain't gonna turn out nice. My mom has showed me multiple times, and I can't get it. I cannot get it. Can you?
No, like, honestly, the most I'll do is like, I'll like fold it like a pancake and then fold it the other way. And then I'll just like kind of roll it together and like stuff it somewhere.
Yes.
That's what I do. That's my strategy. I'm like, as long as it fits, it's enough.
I avoid, what was it? So in my room, I have one of my favorite fitted sheets, and I will not have any reason to switch it out. Like, I'll go same day, put it in the washing machine, dry it, then I'll put it back on the bed. Like, I am not giving myself a reason to fold it up and put it away. Only for like certain issues that I will, but like, it's always clean.
That's all I
always just really like mine's a cooling one.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I get hot. It's just like, that's my favorite.
That's all that matters. Favorite. As long as it's clean, you know. Okay.
We'll do like two more.
Yeah, let's do two more.
One more each, and then we'll call it.
If you could be best friends with a character in any animated show, which would you choose? Who would I be friends with? I like Linda from Bob's Burgers.
God, yes.
She's just so much fun, you know, and she seems like she's a girl's girl. Yes. She seems like she's a girl's girl. That's also like the animated show, like my main animated show that I watch. Let me try to think of some more. What about you? Well, I'm thinking. Let me about you.
Girl, I started thinking and I was
Yeah.
I was just like, I watched so many. Ooh. No, that's kind of like I don't know. I don't know, because I'll always find some reason to be like, I was just like, no, that annoys me. Like, oh, like, I can't do that. Like, Linda, I would agree, but I'm not going to steal yours. Ooh. Going off the same show, it has to be probably Tina.
Who?
Tina.
Like
Tina,
from Bob's
she just
Burgers.
seems so like, I don't know. I want to help her so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to help her so bad. Like, when she got the job to impress the cool kids.
I feel like she's a little bit too, she cares a little bit too much about what other people think about her.
She does, and that's why I want to help
her.
her.
I'm like, I think she might backstab if she gets the opportunity. Ooh. I don't really trust Tina. It's just my opinion.
No, that's a good. That is a good point. I don't know. I mean, she can move past that.
She can. She just needs to grow up a little bit. You know?
I mean, she is only like 10,
13 probably. 10, 13. I think she's like 10 or barely 13.
Oh yeah,
probably.
definitely barely 13.
Yeah. It's a good one.
I'm gonna put more hot ones on hot. Have you ever spotted anything weird in someone else's home? I personally have not, but I heard from like someone that they found an adult toy just laying out. It was just like, oh, I have personally never seen anything weird in anybody's house. But actually, I did see a pair of like, I don't know whose house I was. But like, I think we were visiting somebody's house, and then they left like dirty laundry like in the out, and then you could see like it was just out.
Ew.
Yeah, so like I know that's not considered weird, but like, why are you leaving that out? Like, you knew I was coming.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. I don't really have a weird. I mean, the closest thing I can think of is when I was in middle school. I spent the night at my friend's house, and they had skim milk. Yeah, I never had met anyone who had skim milk in their fridge before. And I was like, it was the only option for the cereal, and so her mom was all like, "Oh, do you want milk?" She was like, "We only have skim milk," and I was like, "Okay." And it was just watered down milk. That's all it was. I'm like, why do people buy this? Why do people drink this? I'm sure there's health benefits, and I'm just ignorant to it. I don't know.
Skim milk is like my least favorite kind of milk. That and like maybe
I don't understand it.
I don't know.
I don't understand it.
That and silk for like the extra estrogen that's all up in there. But,
I hear you. Okay, let me go.
Oat milk all the way.
Yeah, I just like lactose free. I like the Fairlife one is fine to me.
That one's good.
Yeah. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest? My hamster Gus. Without a doubt. My hamster Gus is a dwarf hamster, and he'll bite anybody if he gets the chance. He's never liked anybody in his whole little life. And he likes his space, and it's okay. I love him for that. He's teaching me how to establish boundaries, and I respect that. So
I remember holding him for the first time and he bit my finger, and I was just like scared, but also I was like, oh, that didn't hurt. I was like, oh,
it doesn't hurt.
Bit me.
It just hurts your feelings.
Bit me.
Yeah, it's like he really bit you. When he bites hard. Like it's intentional. Like it's an attack. So yeah, but
I would think a peacock. I would have thought a peacock would be really rude. Because like they're just out there showing their feathers, just like look at me, like
true.
Like they would be cocky,
yeah.
But it's just like
a peacock is
like
cocky.
You look rude, like get out of my way. Like my feathers are coming through, make room.
For sure, for sure. Wow,
that was fun.
Yeah,
maybe next time we'll have a little more scorching hot questions.
Yeah, some hot tea.
Because this is some iced tea because it's hot outside.
Right, iced tea. Right. So maybe we'll have something to spark.
If you guys really like this segment, we'll do it again. Maybe some of your own questions, and we'll add them into the cup.
Yes, definitely. Anything that you would like us to spill the tea on, we might just spill a little bit.
Might just trip over and drop it all.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Be messy. A little bit. Be a little messy.
A little messy.
Yeah. So yeah,
that was fun.
That's good. So I guess we will go ahead and end this episode here. Please let us know, what you think about this episode. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, all that stuff.
TikTok. Now we have a TikTok page.
TikTok as well. We're going to start, posting, short clips more often. So yeah, but that's all we have. That's all the nonsense I guess we're going to talk today. So
yeah. Thank you everyone for joining in, and we'll see you guys on episode 8. Bye.
Bye.